Okay, Trista, your question generated one of my favorite responses of the night. So you asked, what would you do if resources were not a barrier? And someone out there sent in a one-word answer. Starts with R, the word is revolution, which I thought was a very interesting answer, and I could ask you a lot of questions about that. But there's one other I wanted to cite. Someone else cited more min-channel programs, which I think need to be said. But I want to push you a little bit on this one, Trista, because someone submitted here, resources are a barrier. We are in a competitive relationship, not collaborative. So Trista, how about that point? Is there room for collaboration?
There's a ton of room for collaboration, and that's really sad to me to hear that, because there's many spaces where we can collaborate together, but we've sort of created this Hunger Games model in the nonprofit sector where organizations compete to the death, and whoever is the strongest one standing is the one that gets funded. And it seems to me like that's not the best way to create the sort of Minnesota that we're trying to create. I think we often argue over the small, little, teeny, tiny pie over here, and what we forget is there's a whole other buffet that's going on, and we've completely missed the boat because we're all competing for the same 4 grants. We're all doing the same online competitions and trying to get our supporters and donors to vote for us on Facebook. We're all pushing in these same places, but we don't talk about these other resources. We don't talk about better leveraging our overhead as organizations and sharing staff members and sharing curriculum and program development and all these wonderful things where we have organizations that do a great job developing that. Why are we recreating the wheel within every single organization? And so if we can pull away some of that competition that happens within the sector and actually figure out what do we have in common and what are we trying to accomplish, and if we can step away from the idea of just keeping the lights on, which as a director of an organization, I think about that a lot, and it's an important thing to think about. But if you forget why you're doing the work, then it doesn't matter if the lights are on or off. So we need to move to the place where it's really about what we're trying to accomplish as an organization, what we're trying to accomplish as individuals. We could all be working at Target Corporate and making way more than we are in the nonprofit sector. But we do this work because we're trying to create a specific sort of change in the world. And sometimes we get lost in the paperwork and the details and we forget what that thing is, but it's important to remind ourselves why we do this.